Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know how we do, so let's just get into it. Today's topic is going to be the shoveling crisis, right, in New York, Mondani. So let's just get into it. So I don't know if many of you know, even though it's been made to be a national news story for some reason, that the new mayor of New York, with this recent blizzard, the one of the first blizzards that New York has had at this severity in like the last 10 to 20 years, he has hired local New York residents to shovel the snow for $30 an hour. And that is an uproar. So let me just level set. Like, I have no idea why this is even a national story or anything like that, but apparently, like, people are very upset. They feel like he's paying them way too much. It's just a waste of money and things of that nature. And I just want to break this down because I've even heard some people on the more liberal side saying, like, I'm cool for them hiring people for $30 an hour. And I feel like we need to check ourselves, right? This is a classic situation that we get. It's crabs in a barrel. Like, you see something and in your mind, why are you thinking that? It's because you think that job that's too much money for that job, and you think the people that are going to do it don't deserve that money. If you break it down and really think about it, like, that's what your issue is. And your issue is like, hey, I don't get paid $30 an hour, or I get paid close to $30 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And someone shoveling, like, that's like not fair somehow, right? And if you think about it, it's almost like the argument against minimum wage rising up. Like, there's some people that are just like, okay, I understand that maybe $7 an hour is impossible for anyone to live off anywhere, but hey, $20 an hour, now they're getting close. Like, I worked hard, you know what I'm saying? I got a degree, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, any raising up that makes people like that you deem less than you, closer to you economically, people have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what people don't realize is if the minimum wage raises, it rises all ships. So, like, obviously that's the way the wage market works. That, like, if you can get the same money from like a lower technically skilled job, then the labor market will shift, and then that what has to happen is that the wages will have to go up to attract that higher level of person, because otherwise people won't be attracted to that profession anymore. It's like kind of simple economics, but I digress. Back to shoveling. um, let's talk about New York, right? Let's talk about the city of New York, because $30 an hour ain't the same everywhere. It's not the same everywhere. $30 an hour in New York is not even a living wage. Let me just break it down. So I just want you to all do something and Google what a living wage is. Right? Google, and that's like not even a thriving wage. A thriving wage is like, okay, you can actually, but that's what people should be living towards. But let's just say a living wage. In New York City, one of the most expensive cities in the world, a living wage is actually $36 an hour, which equals out to about $75,000 a year, a little bit higher than that. And that's how much it costs to really live in New York City and not be destitute and not depend on government services. And that's not even anyone living in New York City knows that it's still a hard road. But like, if you're not receiving any benefits, that could be really difficult, especially if you have a family and things of that nature. So, $75,000 maybe in Kentucky might make you a middle class and balling, right? But $75,000 in New York is the living wage standard there, which translates into $36 an hour. So Mandami paying $30 an hour, like, works. It's a good wage. It still could be higher a little bit, right? But it's actually what people should be making in New York City to just maintain a life. But we know a lot of people in New York City ain't making $30 an hour, are they? Right? So instead of getting mad at the mayor for actually trying to pay a living wage to people, you should be mad at all the other employees that are not. Right? You're mad at the person that's actually he's delivering on his promise. He's giving people good jobs that the government, like, for a service that government needs, and giving people money that can actually make a difference in their lives. And we would be better if we're like, oh, we're going to pay them $8 an hour. Would that make it better? You know what I'm saying? I was like, if we exploited these people in their poverty and just paid them in that space. And that's what a lot of people want, because certain labor, they don't want people to make a lot of money for. And let's just talk about fucking shoveling in general. Let's digress even further. Like, shoveling is a hard job, especially if it's like a lot of snow. It's out there in the cold. You know what I'm saying? You're really and to get it done right and to make sure it's clear, that's a lot of work. right? And I don't know where y'all live, where y'all coming from, but shoveling ain't like it was back when I was a kid, back in the 80s and 90s. You just can't pay nobody 10, $20 now. Like now shoveling done went up. It's $30, $40. I don't know where you live, but like this last shovel around, that's how much people were charging. And I also want to get us on this mind of our own exploitation of people because I know at least when I was growing up or in my communities that like we think like shoveling's like a kid's job, right? You know, like hey, let me get one of the local neighborhood kids that wants to shovel around and make a little extra money, and like we will pay them differently than a grown person, right? Like oh, maybe we'll pay a grown person $40, but a kid we're going to give him 20. And why? Because we exploit children. Like that's really at the end of it. Think about this shit. If you're hiring someone to do a job and they complete it, why should you pay someone less based on who they are? How, like, what race they are, what age they are, all that shit. It doesn't matter if they complete the job, right? If you're hiring a kid to shovel your driveway, why should you pay that child less than you pay an adult who shovels your driveway? And if you think about it, that's what happens. Because no, you would never even try to get over on that adult because that adult would be like, fuck you, I'm charging you $40. But you will try and look for a kid to get it done less. Why? Because you think a kid deserves less. And that I need us to stretch that mentality on certain labor, on certain people, right? It's how our labor system was formed, like slavery. Hello, that's why slavery was even indoctrinated because, like, you want free labor, right? You don't want to pay somebody to do this. That's why certain jobs are just like, it's like menial labor. It's lower than, but even though it could be some of the hardest labor, some of the labor that we don't want to do. And I just want to get us on that mindset. Like we are exploiting. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be a $40 an hour to shovel. That shit is hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, let's talk about it. In New York, the streets have never been cleaner. It actually fucking worked. And I would actually love to see the actual budget numbers at the end of the day. That for the traditional snow removal that people were very upset about, that wasn't as good, to this, where you're actually empowering local people in the community, paying them a living wage, and the snow removal was better than it's ever been. Have you ever heard people talking about how good the snow removal has been? Like in any city? Like that's happening in New York right now. People, it's going viral about how great the snow removal program was. It's working and you're paying people living wages, but people have a problem with it. I just need you to investigate why you have a problem with it, why you think certain jobs are able to be exploited, why you think certain people are able to be exploited and they don't deserve wages. And at the end of the day, it's real some shit about you. Right? It's your ego about what you think certain people are worth, what certain jobs are worth, and then what you think you're worth in your profession. Get out of that shit. Stop being divided. All people need living wages. All people need to be thriving. And we need to be celebrating a win of having the best fucking shoveling that has ever happened in New York City, right? Until next time.